look at these fat fucks. I'm there grabbing some food quick before we come on podcast. You're both there stuffing your fat fucking faces. Trying to be professional.
In all fairness, I went to the gym and then my neighbor, like, I'm trying to be polite because I haven't been living here for very long. My neighbor was like trying to have a chat with me, and I was like trying to do like the quick conversation, but it turned into him telling me his life story. So the time that I was going to use to eat before getting on the podcast was consumed by being pleasant to someone, which takes a lot of energy for me. So
you have an excuse. Dan's just like, fuck it, food comes first.
That was pretty much it, really. I was like, if I do the podcast and eat after, then it'll totally ruin up my anabolic window. And then I'll make no gains.
Yeah, you'd be catabolic, mate. Fuck shit.
Immediately just waste away.
Yeah, you might lose like 0.0000001 gram of all of that muscle.
Exactly.
Well, the thing is, the amount of calories that Dan's putting away, I could imagine to miss an hour and a half would be quite difficult to catch up on.
I just really didn't want to cram it in before bed. That was my only thing. And also, the idea of throwing up into my APAP really scares me.
How many meals a day are you two on?
I'm on probably less than Dan. I'm on a lot less calories than Dan. I don't know what number of meals. Well, Dan knows the answer to both of those questions.
Go on. What are you on?
I actually don't remember, Johnny. It's right now. Put me on the spot. It's 5, isn't it?
It's 5 meals, and then obviously I have my actually 6 meals in total.
Yeah, 6 including your post-workout.
Yeah. The standard.
I actually do it in 5.
Okay, big meals.
I do it in 5 just because my digestion's shit, and if I eat just before I go to bed, I don't sleep, and if I eat as soon as I wake up, I literally just goes right through me. Just really, I have to let my everything balance in the morning. Now I'm a bit older. I can't just get up and slam food in. I'll literally just be shitting myself inside out. So I have that like window. I've seen no negative from doing that over 6.
Yeah.
Well, this is
as long as you're absorbing that amount of food.
This is the level of a commitment I've got, Dean. Do you know what? We were rushing, and what accompanies this meal is meant to be a bagel, and I'm just eating a straight up plain bagel just because I had to rush it. I was like, fuck it.
The key to that, 30 seconds in the microwave, comes out like soft hot dough.
Yeah, a bit of salt, good to go, but I didn't have time for that either, to be honest. So.
Yeah. Come on, fuck off for 30 seconds, mate.
I'm out.
Off you go.
I'm hardcore as fuck.
That dry bread.
I'm sweating out after eating that now.
Well, I remember especially more when I was dieting. I was quite a hard gainer. I got to eat a lot of fucking food to put weight on. I struggled to eat the amount of carbs because I kept the food clean. But I was up to 8 meals a day when I was dieting, and it's just continuous, isn't it? It's a lot. It takes your life over.
I hate it. That's what I hate the most, is gaining and eating food. That's the thing that I hate the most. It's like, at least when you're in prep, no one really likes like 4 weeks out. It feels wank. But like feeling like hungry, looking forward to your next meal, like, is a good place for me. Like,
I was exactly the same. Like, I look forward to dieting because I just couldn't deal with cramming that food, constantly bloated, feel like crap. Holding the extra weight, struggle to put my fucking socks on in the morning, out of breath walking up the stairs.
Having to do the under wipe and not the side wipe.
I was always flexible, like I could manage. My ass never got that fat.
You've got to do the socks in one breath.
Yeah. Your blood pressure's high. You come up, you're fucking purple.
If you don't get it in one, you're fucking over.
Well, I play the game catch the toe. So, like, I lie on the bed. If I'm heavy off season, which I've only ever done once, I just play a game of catch the toe. I rock back and forth, and then I commit.
And then you're like,
yeah. And then you've got to make small adjustments to your life, like slip-on shoes.
I've got some slip-on Vans at the moment. I actually saw Greg, Scottish Titan, was wearing them, and I was like, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So I stole the idea of him.
So you want to be like Greg? Is that what you're saying?
Well, he did do a 300 kilo Smith squat, so I was like, maybe that's how he did it.
Did you try?
It's not how he did it. It's not. That wasn't the deciding factor, it seems.
Laces and shoes are no go.
Yeah. Well, I lace my shoes once when I buy them. That's it.
Standard.
Is this the secret? Is this why Jordan Peters is flip flop or barefoot?
I do remember seeing Jordan when he was at his biggest, and I did think someone should cut his toenails. And him and Joe Binley used to hang around together, and they both used to, it looks like they were in competition for like who had the longest toenail.
Yeah.
I think Joe's in America now. He doesn't seem to be on the. He owns AD, doesn't he? He's done well with that. But they were tight, weren't they, at the beginning? There was seemed to be a toenail off, and they loved to flip flop both of them.
I feel like got to a point they must have been eating that much protein that their toenails were that thick. No fucking. You couldn't even get shears to get to them. You had to get a chainsaw on them or a steel saw or something.
Either that, or they couldn't reach them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've known Joe a long time. I was sponsored by Anabolic Designs when they first came out, yeah, he's always been the same. He's a strange old character, Joe.
I like Joe. Good guy.
Yeah, he's nice.
I like him, but don't you think he looks like Willem Dafoe?
Yeah. not as messed up as not like William Dafoe's wrinkles, his creases, his lines are just out of control at now. But I know what you mean. There's a hint of him in there.
He used to get ridiculously fucking shredded, mind.
Oh yeah.
Like next level, like fucked up in the head, kind of.
Oh yeah.
Like way past like competition shredded, like you're about to die kind of shredded.
Yeah, you gotta be mental, to get to that.
Well, Joe, like obviously competed. He found it hard to put on mass, so he just played the other game, which was just be disgustingly in condition.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like seeing that. I remember seeing it a few times and being like, that's horrible.
Yes. Yeah.
It is, isn't it? Like you near death. Like you you go for a piss and a bit of powder comes out because you're that dry. It's horrible.
He tries them mental protocols, doesn't he? Where he puts on like fucking 20 kilos in like 2 weeks or something stupid, like super restricts himself and then like rides a huge rebound and then there's some mental protocols that he's come up with over the years.
Remember when he was eating just raw?
Yeah.
Remember that? You just go to Sainsbury's and just buy like raw salmon or raw beefsteak, just
like the Liver King or something. Out Liver King. Joe was there first. Fuck off with you fucking shit.
What I don't understand is how did Liver King become rich first?
It's social media bullshit, isn't it? You got a gimmick in that one person says you just go off, goes viral.
Here's the conspiracy that I heard. It was that the Liver King is a plant for the corporation because meat prices are going to go up and they're going to start selling offal. So they're making it cool so that they can sell more of the meat.
I don't understand why, like liver, kidneys, heart, and all that. It is just pennies, isn't it, compared to the cuts of meat? And there's so much more nutritional value in say, like a good chunk of liver. You're not getting much better than that. Maybe shellfish, some oysters or something, but liver's right up there at the top. Yeah. There's pennies, isn't it? I stack my freezer full of it. I got a big bag on the tramp shelf for about 70p, and that'd do me for like a week's worth of breakfast.
Yeah, people don't like it. That's why it's not selling.
It's not the best taste, but I got used to it.
It's the texture that gets me.
I was anemic as a kid, and I got force-fed liver, and liver and Guinness. And I hate liver now, but I love Guinness. It's weird. But that's how they did it back in those days.
I read a recipe and it helped a lot because I couldn't touch liver. And then when I started getting a lot more into health and longevity, I forced myself to eat foods that are really good for you that I wasn't that keen on. And liver was one of them. And they say soak it overnight in milk. And I do that. chuck it in the pan, cut it really thin, chuck it in the pan fry it after you've soaked it in milk, and don't overcook it. And it's pretty nice, considering how it normally tastes. But try it, it works. It gets that bitterness out.
Look at Dan's face.
I know, yeah.
I mean, I'm up for it. I hate all my food anyway, so I don't care.
Yeah, if Dan can't like blend it or like batch cook it, then it's not happening.
Yeah, I don't like fucking about.
This is the problem with bodybuilders, isn't it? I was the same. My food was so fucking bland and shit. I was forcing and gagging on every mouth. Make the food taste nice. You fucking look forward to it.
Yeah. That Dan still does the tuna shakes.
Oh God, don't talk to me about them. When I was young and poor, I was doing 5 tins of tuna a day to the point I was nearly throwing up. So I started collecting them in the brine and just necking them down. Now I can't even look at tins of tuna.
Yes. The thing is, tuna's not even that cheap anymore.
No. And it's shit. Tin tuna is fucking shit.
It's not even that cheap. I remember when it was actually cheap, and now it's not. Chicken's cheaper.
Yeah, I remember when I was necking them, 17p a can it was.
Yes.
Yes. And there was about 20-something grams of protein per tin.
And 30 grams of mercury.
Oh yeah, minimum. Instant death after a month.
How many tins of tuna do you reckon it would take to kill you?
Oh. See, you know who Tony Robbins is? Inspirational talker guy.
Yeah.
Amazing guy, American. He went on this big health kick and he was eating basically nothing but salads and tuna every meal. Tuna, doing the right thing. And he was having his blackouts and his memory was going in. He's on stage talking and boom, memory gone. He don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Got some checkups. Doctor said, I have never seen anyone with mercury poisoning this high who's still alive. And he wasn't doing it that long. Maybe 6 months? He must have been eating a lot of tuna, but
who the fuck came up with that? Who came up with that and said that's an idea?
No idea, mate.
No one. Yeah, I don't get that. More than one person sat in a room and both of them went, that's the one.
I knew who it was. Remember that guy, the bodybuilder? He has a piece of whitefish and a rice cake. Meal 2.
I'll tell you, we tried to get him on here.
Yeah.
We tried to get him on. I found him.
Yeah?
I found him. He's a hairdresser from like Hull or something.
Yeah.
And
he put a bit of size on now, isn't he?
Yeah, no. And I tried to get him on, but I think he must have like looked at them and thought I was going to like rinse him.
Well, you were.
I was going to weigh it up at the time. My actions weren't predetermined. I was going to think about it.
It would have been a good watch.
Yeah, definitely. He definitely shit out because he watched one of our episodes and went, yeah, that guy's going to rip me into me.
That guy's not for me.
So it's just general sort of catch up, I guess. And obviously I've done my blood work last week.
Because you didn't actually send me. You just told me they were great.
No, they weren't great. They were but they were all like just like marginally out of range or within range. And the only thing that was of any concern was my hemoglobin and my red blood cell count. So I did a bloodlet yesterday and I didn't pass out. So that's a fucking win because I am a fucking massive baby when it comes to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can't even like talk about it for long enough. I start to feel queasy. So, yeah, I just literally put some headphones on and watched a podcast. I won't say any names because obviously this is the best podcast. But I watched a podcast and literally distracted myself for 10 minutes, and it was done. So I'm gonna do that. I got a hydration.
How much did you take out?
It would have been a pint, wouldn't it?
You do a pint, 5, 6, 8.
So I'm going to do a hydration IV this week as well, and then I'm going to do another a full blood count. I'm not going to do a full test. Obviously, I know I did the full professional test last time. I'll just do a blood count this time and see where I am again, and if I need to run the process again until I'm back within range, then that's what I'll do.
I mean, I'm going to level. I'm going to level with you. I'm never in range, and I've never been in range. Even before I bodybuilded and had blood tests, I've never been in range.
Yeah, the difference is though is I've never had issues with RBC or hematocrit or hemoglobin. Like another
This
thing.
was the first one.
Yeah, the first one has been out of range for me, so if I think I should be able to put it back in, hopefully.
You're not fucking off. It's in your system for ages. I mean, it's 2 to 3 weeks, but it's longer than that before it's all like out of your system properly for your levels to be coming back to normal.
Well,
It's
you mean
gonna take way
if I
longer.
do my last jab tomorrow, I can't officially call myself off the day after?
You can't do a natty show on the weekend.
I don't know. Some of these people are convincing themselves that well. I think they would pass the polygraph.
Oh, mate, yeah. If the level of delusion. I reckon Mike O'Hearn would pass
Yeah,
a polygraph test
not because he's actually natural, but because he's convinced himself that he
because
is.
he actually believes.
I've seen girls and that. They're like, they're open. Yeah, I'll take clenbuterol, I'll take Anavar. I'm natural. You know Anavar is a steroid. What are you talking about? I'm natural. I don't take steroids. No, what the fuck goes on in their heads? Their coaches are just chucking them out like sweeties.
Yeah.
And you know they're not Anavar. It's probably fucking D-ball or Winstrel if they're lucky.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
I'm
most.
fucking
That's
natural when they got a beard.
that's one of the most dangerous things that I'm seeing at the moment or hearing about through observation is these new safe models. Like people are thinking they're safe models. What they're meant as is safer models than lots. Like, but people are like, no, I'm doing the safe model, and it's like, no, there isn't one of those. Like, so I think, to be honest, some of the terminology, I know it's only semantics, but we're dealing sometimes with morons, and they're going, oh, safe model, and I think it's actually getting more people to do drugs earlier, like way earlier, for categories that you should never do drugs in anyway.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of females are getting done because as well they're like, oh, primo, yeah, cool. Like, I'm sorry, how long do you have to spend digging for real primo?
What's your thoughts on primo? Because just lately I've been getting so many questions. Like it's the in thing at the minute.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And to me, primo is weak as fuck. It's something that the girls would take if it's real. And like you say, you're extremely lucky if you find any real primo these days. So you don't know what the fuck's in it or if it's any good. And for the amount that it costs, for
it's
what
the
it
most expensive
does,
to manufacture.
What's the point of it? Just I don't get it. Like especially like people off season, they're bringing some testing, some primo. Like what for?
Well, there was that post that that Jordan Peters put out, didn't he? And he had a bit of backlash from. He was saying something stupid like it was to get any sort of real effects from primo, you need to be running at like 1,200 milligrams or whatever, wasn't it? I can't remember how much he said.
Yeah, he was talking about over 1,000. Victor Black had a meltdown about it and stuff like that. But it depends on what level you're at. If you're somebody just go to the gym and you want to do a sustainable, like kind of like small bit of something, cool. Start low. I mean, most people that started as a dude training used to do a bit of Anavar, kind of settle you in a bit. See if you know. Now people are like obviously a bit more extreme, and the way they're getting their information from is like they don't have the capacity to like actually think about it. So they're just like, I've read that, we'll do that. Like we all used to do, reading Ronnie Coleman's training plans in Flex. But yeah, I just think Anavars and Primo are the most expensive things to manufacture, so they're the most widely faked. And now, even compared to 10 years ago, the dud shit around is insane. And so, like, you got people that don't give a fuck about bodybuilding, don't give a fuck about the people they're selling it to, manufacturing compounds that they can just sell as other compounds and make loads of money. I mean, I'm no businessman, but that sounds like money to me. If I was a drug dealer, I'd be like,
I always say this to people, like, there's, this company's good. It's an underground lab doing it illegally. So you're putting all of your trust into a drug dealer. Normally, they're not the most trustworthy people. Why the fuck? Especially as some guy on the internet you don't even know. You know, what the fuck's going to be in that?
There was a kid at my gym. He approached me the other day and he was asking me about his cycle, and he said to me, "Oh, I'm doing 2.5 mil a week." I said, 2.5 mil of what? Test. What test? Oh, test 400. I said, "That's your first cycle?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Who told you to do that?" He said, "The guy I'm buying it off." I was like,
You bet he fucking was.
I was like, "Yeah, you need to like half that, pal." And he was like,
Well, let's start at the top. Has anyone had test 400 tested ever?
"No, exactly." And in reality, getting 400 into a mill of suspension is almost impossible. If you do, it's horrible to inject.
As you say, you do it easy enough, but I wouldn't want to put that on me. It's going to be so fucking painful. And the day, this was always a good thing for me. My body can't handle a lot of gear. I remember the first time I took a shot of sus, one shot of sus, 250 milligram, and I was ill for the week. The worst fucking fever, flu symptoms. I just physically cannot do it. I have to work up to like a shot of 250 milligram in one go because my body can't handle it.
Yeah.
It stopped me from doing too much, but I never needed to do more. A couple of shots a week is enough.
My first ever training partner, he was the reason I got into bodybuilding. Ironically, he's considerably smaller than me now, but back then I thought he was a big guy. And they used to have like jab parties. They'd have like parties where they'd all just be
I want to
taking-
go to a jab party.
and they were just
I wanna
taking
go.
tons of gear and then having steroid flu for weeks.
Oh, this sounds great.
Do
See,
they
that's
just spin the bottle with a syringe? You know, every hand's
the, See, that's the sort of excitement I need back in my life as I fast approach my 40s. Where are these needle parties? I feel like I'm drastically missing out.
Yeah,
I think
Is that what they mean by
the-
surround yourself with positive people? Because
Yes.
if it is, I've been reading it wrong this whole time.
Yeah, I think the jab parties are for like the lower 20 lads because they don't reach 40. That's why. Doing that stupid shit.
Yeah. So, on to some more bodybuilding related stuff. Have you guys seen the most
Have you
recent?
done to your microphone? You put it underwater.
Sorry, I was moving it. Is that better?
It is better.
Have you seen the most recent James Hollingshead photo?
Yeah, what, the side tricep?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the most recent Samson photo.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I've also seen this one as well.
Both of which are fucking bonkers. Yeah. James looks like he's ahead of the game. Samson looks like he's got a bit of catch up to do, but he's fucking huge.
He looks swole as fuck.
Yeah, I'll share the screen now. And this is obviously
I think I know the one you're about to show.
this is James.
Yeah.
The fucking size on him, like
Yeah, I mean, he looks quite close now, and he gets that really dry look, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So fucking dense. It's
It is
unbelievable.
just fucking density. I mean, I always talk about his leg training and stuff, but it's just fucking poetry.
yeah.
Anything that he's pressing, he's not just moving the weight, you can tell. It's a heavy weight he's moving, but he's not even doing it like that. He's like, you can see every fiber is being utilized. I remember he's saying he does a hack squat and he thinks of the hack squat like a leg extension.
Yeah.
And you can just, as soon as you see it happening, you're like, that actually makes sense, because before I didn't know what the fuck you're talking about. But it's just the way you can see. I mean, I do a hack squat or whatever. I'm just lifting the weight. I'm not really feeling anything. I've got a shit connection in my legs. Like, you know, you can tell that there's not a lot going on. We'll watch him, or even just with a squat, you know, he's doing 300 kilo plus squats. You can tell the load is just perfectly aligned where he wants it to be. And there, look, he's got like this middle quad bit where like everyone else's quad would be, like this line. And then he's got like another quad on top of the quads.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
I
that's-
just have his extra bit.
I just really hope that whatever they're doing for this, they
Yeah.
just keep doing that and no more, because that's the thing. Like they in the qualifiers, like last year and the year before, like James was on the money. He could have been a little bit sharper, but then as soon as they came to the Olympia, they lost their heads and just went gung ho and did the whole thing where James loses his upper body again.
Yeah. I mean, I spoke to him at Cuba's wedding about it, and he was just like under-eating for him. When he gets to that point and everything's firing, he was saying, I'm not putting words in anyone's mouth, he needs to keep like feeding up basically, otherwise he does flatten out, and that was always his issue. I was gutted for him. Obviously it wasn't Yeah, but I don't think he's going to make the same mistake again.
You could see his body type a mile away, and I wish James to win every fucking show, because nobody puts in more work than James, and not just the fucking training. You see how he trains and the weights that he moves, but his whole lifestyle, every second of every day, he breathes fucking bodybuilding. He doesn't have the best genetics in the world. He's not blessed with the nicest shape, the nicest lines, but my fucking God, he's done the absolute maximum of what he can do with what he's got. And that guy is fucking insane. The amount of dense, solid muscle you can only get from shifting the kind of weights that he does.
Yeah.
It's just mind-blowing. And then when he brings that condition with it, fucking, there's guys on stage with much nicer lines, lovely shapes, but James will fucking beat him when he brings in that fucking solid mass with that condition. Because not many people can hit that condition that James does, as you know, and they just rely upon genetics with the lines. Yeah. So I really...
And that style of training.
Yeah.
Like you said, the style of training brings a different look.
Now we're talking about genetics.
Well, Samson said that he's not genetically gifted, so that must...
Well, he just his genetically and his lines and his shapes. He's got a lovely shape for the size of him.
Mate, he's only started bodybuilding when he was like 33. He's definitely genetically gifted.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I'd love to see his test results.
That's like 6 years' work.
Yeah. This is not possible. It's not humanly possible for a guy with average genetics to do that.
No.
I don't care what the fuck you're doing.
He's like 310 or something there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a bubble at the moment. It's looking completely insane. What I liked as well, because he was always known for having overpowering legs, and he worked in his upper body. And this year he's just gone, I'll just do that as well. I'll just bring the legs in, fuck them. And he's just let go of the legs, and they're just fucking enormous.
Yeah.
So how far out are they?
They're the same. What's it, 7 weeks?
No, it's longer than that, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Arnold's like 7 weeks, isn't it? I think the Olympia's not till December, is it?
Aren't they both doing the Arnold?
I don't think Samson's doing the Arnold, is he? He says you Road to the Olympia. Oh, so James is doing the Arnold, isn't he? That's what I'm getting it wrong. That's why James looks ahead, because James is doing the Arnold and Samson's just going straight to the O.
Sorry, I thought we were... Yeah, that makes more sense.
It does, yeah.
So I forgot, where did Samson get his invite?
It was back last year, wasn't it? It would have been... Is it this one? Yeah, it would have been potentially the Prague show. Look, I think this was the one he won.
Yeah.
With his cake.
So he's already qualified. So yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah. That makes sense on our timeline. We probably should have done our homework first.
That's all right. Winging it. That's what we do.
Yeah, I stopped watching Naked Men in Pants, Tiny Little Pants, a long time ago. I'm not dating him.
That's
yeah,
good.
I know. I still get loads of men send me pictures of themselves in pants. Some of them I don't even know. They're like, "Oh, can you just tell me what my physique looks like?" Fucking weirdo.
I do still struggle with random people I don't know sending me pictures and asking me what I think.
Yeah, what I think is that you should be on the sex offenders list, you fucking weirdo. Why are you sending me pictures?
Like, yeah, I just, like, even if they're bodybuilders, yeah, you know, I'm just starting out, like, what do you think? Like, cool, like, keep doing that.
Yeah, what do you want me to say?
Yeah, like
you've been around some of the biggest and best athletes in the fucking world. Some 12-stone, podgy-bellied fucking skinny guy is not really impressing me much.
I'm just like, yeah, go to the gym still.
Yeah, but they might have made tremendous gains, but I don't know. You don't know who they are, do you?
Yeah, I've always struggled with that, and obviously people asking me for their dirt, asking me to sell them my dirty pants. Yeah, and then just ghosting me when I packaged them.
Sorry, Dan, I didn't have the money at the time.
Yeah, fucking hell. I told you I'd put one tick if you need it, but the smell's gone out the bag now. I've checked.
This is why you like driving around these nice cars and shit, innit? I'm poor with nothing because I've got this tiny little moral left inside that doesn't allow me to do this.
I know how you got that cello.
Oh, the electric one.
That's how you got the cello.
Can't fucking play it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you agreed to wrestle some guys, didn't you?
yeah, you wrestled a guy in baby oil.
We wasn't
Nice.
naked. We had pants on.
Oh, that's okay.
That's why it's a
Okay.
cheap cello.
The friction.
Yeah, I mean, this one caused a bit of controversy in the week, didn't it? Did you see what happened?
Alton got an invite for the Olympics.
Yeah, but did you see what happened midweek?
I didn't. Yeah.
They released the scorecard on the IFBB page, and it showed Tyler in first place and Elton in second place. And then somebody'd already saved it, and by the time they'd removed it and uploaded the changed one, it was the one with Elton in first place.
Fuck. So what's happened with that?
I don't know is the answer, and I don't want to, make any accusations.
Swept under the carpet, I imagine. Let's not talk about that one ever again.
But it seems there was two different scorecards. Which one was the correct one?
See, this is why they should just bring back paper and Tipex. This would have never happened if it was paper and Tipex.
But the worst thing is it looks like they were handwritten in anyway.
Tipex.
So they couldn't even claim as if it was like...
We need a handwriting specialist. That's what we need here on Bash Bros. If you know one, get in contact. We're gonna figure it out. Get to the bottom of it. And when I say get to the bottom of it, we're not gonna do anything.
Yeah.
We're not going to do anything.
In reality, I know very little about men's physique.
There's a man in shorts.
It's developed from a beach body to a big guy that doesn't have very good legs.
To be fair, some of them are fucking massive now.
Yeah, just insane.
Actually, massive.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy on the right has definitely got the beach look. He's got a smile. I probably,
I mean, Alton's got a beautiful physique. He's got lovely lines, big, thick chest, nice arms, perfect abs.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't think anybody would have questioned the result had that controversy.
The other guy looks in better condition, but Alton looks a lot fuller. From that picture, you cannot go by a picture.
If you look at the actual, when you've seen the videos of it all, and in reality, if either of one of them was going to go to the Olympia, obviously Elton went straight into the obviously goes straight into the Olympia now. He's gonna have. I think he'd have a better chance at the Olympia because he's got a more comparable physique to what the Olympia men's physique looks like.
He's got the whole look. He's got the smile. He's a handsome bastard.
Yeah.
He's got the whole thing going on.
Yeah, and I mean, I got a load of admiration for Tyler. Obviously, he had renal failure. He was a bodybuilder. Decided to make his comeback. Got really small joints. Decided that he could do it more safely as a men's physique. So
yeah, I mean, he smashed it. His midsection's still perfect.
Yeah. In all fairness to him, he's fucking absolutely nailing it. Considering, and he was a class 1 bodybuilder before that.
Yeah, but that bodybuilding was hard on his face. I'm sorry, but Alton's prettier. Alton's a lot prettier, so he goes.
Oh, fuck me.
I'm glad that we're not judges.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I think we could be all right in the bodybuilding classes.
Freaks.
We're talking about freaks at the weekend. We had a turn up for the Bucks at the Tampa show. Akeem actually won something. He beat our friend. Kamal jumped into the Open.
He won the Open, didn't he? Yeah. I seen his back shot. He looked incredible. He always has such a amazing polished overall look on stage.
Yeah.
And Camille was inside out.
He's a little blocky around the waist, but because he's so polished, he always looks fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
And to guys with much bigger weight, he's holding his own there any all day. Yeah. I think his back shot, he fucking smashed him. He looks incredible.
And he's 51, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he keeps getting better somehow.
Insane. Absolutely insane.
Which is just, fucking nuts.
I went against him once. He kicked my fucking asshole. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's those guys. They've just got that detail that you can't even see unless you're up close, can you?
Just got no low inserting lats. What's his name? You've just said. Yeah, it's got like if you look at he's got no lower lats. The insertions are so high.
Yeah.
He's gonna throw that shot away often.
Yeah.
Such a wide shoulder line, and it's going to be hard for him to bring them lats down to fill that.
I got a lot of admiration for a guy who's built that dense muscle, though. You can tell that motherfucker trains hard.
Oh mate, I've seen it. Yeah, they're all completely. It's insane.
Yeah, but then there was actually the 212. We actually had Keown or whatever his name is. He actually turned up for once. He got all the genetic potential in the world. Such a tiny little waist, but then never really stepped up to the plate until now. So and it
waist is insane, isn't it?
It's fucking nuts. It's nuts.
And that was it was a strong lineup as well, because like that Nathan Epler's won the 2-2 class before. Obviously that Kerith has won the 2-2 class before. So like in all fairness, it was a really stacked lineup, and he obviously that
but he's like what is he gonna do with that? Like it's fucking outrageous.
Yeah.
And he could even afford to like blow it out a bit.
Yeah.
Like,
I always had this goal, and I think I reached it at one point, was to have my quad the same inch as my waist. But that takes the fucking piss. His waist is like his calf.
Yeah.
Not Dan's calf.
No, not that small.
Oh, fucking bonkers, though, innit? And that's the thing. Like, I think he'll be a serious contender at the Olympia this year, because Derek's potentially making the push up to open, from what I've heard. And obviously Kamal stepped into the open. I don't know if he'll probably revert back to the 212 for the Olympia. Do you reckon?
I would have thought so.
So yeah, he's got a shot, I think.
He looks fucking mental.
I know, it's like a cartoon character, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. So.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter how hard you fucking train. You can't compete next to those kind of genetics in life. Because there's no way on the earth you can create a waist.
You say that. I've seen those women who have ribs removed. I've considered it. I won't lie.
What? Why would you consider it?
Well, there's that benefit too.
So
benefit. You gotta get your zinc levels up somehow. Hey?
No, I know, but you see them. They've got these ridiculous hourglass physiques. These girls who've had all this plastic surgery and their fucking ribs taken out and that. And I'm thinking, maybe I could have like a Keown style waist.
And if
my gut would just start higher. I'd just have a gut that was higher. It wouldn't.
You seen the extreme corsets when they do that? All the internal organs are getting pushed up and squashing their lungs. Fuck that.
Yeah. Well, you mean you didn't use one of them waist trainers? Those people using waist trainers, they're telling themselves it's making their waist smaller.
Well, I mean, some of them are getting results and they're using them as well as doing 20 other protocols. Are the waist trainers doing anything? I don't believe they do.
I think it's like this wearing a belt. If you're using it to make yourself mindful, I wear a belt to try and do this because I'm not trying to brace into it. When I'm walking around, just for the however long I'm in the gym, my idea is I keep my core completely trying not to put pressure on it. And sometimes I do it when I'm PTing just to practice every time I hit the pressure in the belt to like bring it in, just to like keep it tight. We spend so long sat down, like right now my gut's like, like that's the noise it makes.
Sorry, like what?
Like we spend so long and like hanging out and fucking stuff like that. Just so I think if you use the waist trainer, but if you just sink into it, it's going to do fucking nothing. Obviously if you're powerlifting to brace into it, it's a different use of a belt or whatever. But like, I think there is something to be said for it. I think Amph was telling me about this one of his. I can't remember who it was, but he used to wear a shirt that was purposefully too tight so that if he released, he would pop the buttons. So he'd have to like be like all day.
I mean,
that's kind of how they train vacuum poses, isn't it? To be able to hold in all that muscle internally. you got a great muscle control. So I guess the more you do it, the easier it becomes.
Yeah, just practice, surely. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't put a fucking vacuum. Never been able to.
I've got a pretty good vacuum, I think.
Yeah, you got a good vacuum. Fucking
I use
Terry
Henry.
Hollands. Terry Hollands can pull a vacuum, and he was like the fattest man alive. Like I remember he came on here, and I was like, how did you go from like being a strongman? Because like, and even after a strongman, you were like massive. Like when you were doing the commentating, like what did you do to like do a vacuum? And he just went, well, I've always been able to do a vacuum, and then I just did one. I was like,
The only vacuum I got is fucking Henry the vacuum.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, my theory is that for me it was a distraction from my torn pec. So it was like I had to master the vacuum because when I hit the front double, they're looking at my vacuum and not at my. So I'll show you. This is like an old one, but you can see that obviously the side there.
Yeah.
But
When you see it's impressive when you get to that side and you're eating so much food to be able to control that midsection like that.
it's one of those ones.
The only time I ever controlled my midsection was doing a fucking deadlift once, and I shit myself. True story. But I shit myself on the third rep, and I did 10 reps.
Yes.
Yeah, I was committed by that point. I wasn't letting go of that fucking bar.
That's what you fucking need.
It wasn't savable afterwards. I had to chuck them, but it was worth it. It was a heavy fucking weight, and I did 10 reps.
Fucking
Fuck
right.
it. You do it again.
I love that.
Yeah.
Ask him if you do it again.
Have you seen that video of that powerlifter girl who pisses herself when she pulls them out one rep max?
Yeah.
And apparently,
That happens all the time. When Alice was doing powerlifting, she pissed on the floor in like a Nuffield Health.
yeah,
Accidentally.
but apparently this chick does it on every. So it's like a thing.
Oh,
So,
she
like,
does it like all the time.
She did. She was doing. There was a set on Instagram, and it was like I was thought, oh, it was like a one-off. So I looked on her page. No, she does it on all her heavy sets, and like first one, she pisses on the floor, and then she carries on and does another 6 whilst pissing on every rep.
So if I can't be asked to go to the toilet, can I just take a powerlifting? It's acceptable.
Yeah, right. I think you're gonna be lifting heavy, Dean. Like really heavy to allow it.
Well, it's got a point there. What I call heavy to their heavy is their fucking warm-ups, isn't it?
Some of these chicks is bonkers. We had Kira on here, one of our first ever podcasts, and she's pulling like 280, 300 kilos. It's fucking insane. She weighs like 70.
I don't think she's pulling 300 kilos. Just gonna jump in there.
No, she is.
She pulled 300 kilos.
She was pulling 260 banded back then. Let me look at it. I'll see.
Who's this? Sorry,
Kira Justin.
She's also a figure pro as well, so she's just one of those people.
Yeah,
I'm presuming
one of those people.
Sumo.
One of those people.
Yeah, I think it's more sumo. I think, isn't it? Lifts. Kira Justin. Where is she?
I mean, I see some of these sumos. They're practically doing the fucking splits, and they move the bar 2 inches. But they still move that fucking weight. It's impressive.
Oh, that's the wrong page. That one.
Oh.
I don't think we want to know what that guy's doing.
Just Google it yourself. You'll find out. Oh yeah, there's a video of her doing 260 for 3.
No
Let me
way.
see what the biggest one is. Let me see if I can find.
Isn't that like, what's the world record for a woman then?
I think it's got to be
That weight.
240.
It's incredible.
Yeah. I mean, I'll put the 260 for 3 up so you can see that.
Yeah. What's this 260?
Yeah, and that's conventional pull look.
Okay, now, yes. Go on. Jesus. That come up easy.
Yeah, okay.
I don't want to be the one, but fake weights.
Make yourself feel better then, innit?
That's incredible, that is.
Yeah, she's fucking something else.
And how much does she weigh?
I'm not sure. She competes like, I think she's like the under 80 class or something.
Wow.
But yeah, she's
and she's an IFBB pro as well. For lols.
yeah, for shits and giggles, she does a bit of bodybuilding on the side too.
So for these, some of these powerlifters that get grossly fat, out of control,
Yeah.
there's no fucking excuses there. Look at that. She's in unbelievable shape.
Yeah, and she's squatting ridiculous weights as well. Like, I mean, she does her speed reps with a fucking just insane.
Yeah, but she is one of the best in the world, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think she's going for like world records and stuff. I think that was I think what she was talking about on when she was on the podcast. She was going for the deadlift world record and that. And it seems like if she hasn't already, she's pretty fucking close. So.
Well, there was one thing, wasn't there? Like because JP was talking about, it's like the journey of bodybuilding. Of like, realistically, if you haven't got the genetics, you're not going to get very far. But genetics aren't something that's going to be presented to you until you're actually kind of in too deep anyway. So you start to feel like where you actually bottom out. Because to be a bodybuilder, you have a certain amount of genetics because you'll get a certain amount of that bit free. Never really get to know like how capable you are until you're not capable of going further. And then you've already like dedicated so much to it. Like that, it's kind of like too late. Like, and also I wonder whether if I knew, would it have mattered? Do you know what I mean? I don't know. It was quite like a genetic conversation that got me because actually at the time when I started bodybuilding, I never thought I'd even like win a show, and then I thought, well, I'll never win anything, and then I thought, well, I'll never, I never thought I would win any of the things that I won. So I've actually done better than I ever thought that I would do, and I actually just enjoyed doing it anyway. But now I see a lot of people that seem to want to do it just for the win, without the genetic capabilities for it ever to happen for them. And through like people like not wanting to offend anyone, no one's communicating it with them. It's like you're going to go and do all of these like drugs. And by the time you get that far to figure out that you're not actually going to be that, like you're already in too deep. And
yeah,
so, like where
there's
I say like my genetics show that I'm not good at building muscle. I'm a lot more power to weight ratio. I'd have been a lot better at doing some kind of martial art or powerlifting.
But you did all right. You did all right though, didn't you? To be fair.
But not having the best genetics in the world, like it took me a long time to build that muscle. I was blessed by having a nice shoulder to weight ratio and my shapes.
I've seen you compete, Dean. I don't think I believe your results.
Well, the results don't lie. But what was I going to say? There's so many different factors, isn't there, into genetics? As in, Ali Priest has got fucking ripped abs at 13 years old and little lats sticking out like wings. Like he's 19 years old and he's fucking massive. You know that guy is a genetic freak. You look on the other scale, like Dorian Yates. Before he started lifting, he was a skinny little rat. He was a skinhead, weren't he? There's pictures in his jeans and he's got skinny legs, skinny arms. Till he started eating and training, he blew up and he grew like 4 times faster than a normal person. His genetics enabled him to absorb food amazingly, where you would never know you had those genetics until you actually started doing it.
Yeah.
But there's so many different factors in it into your genetics, your different muscle fibers, how you're absorbing food, how you respond to gear, so many different things. So just like what Dan was saying, some people, they put so much of their life into bodybuilding and they're adamant they're going to be Mr. Olympia. And realistically, they're never going to win a shitty show down the fucking road because they just don't have the genetic potential to, no matter how much they put into it. Like I did extremely well considering my genetics, but I couldn't have gone much more than what I did. Like about 212 is my best I could be at a really
I don't know, Dean. I don't buy into that. I think in 212, I think you'd have fucking caused the right fucking state.
212, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But to go into heavyweights, there's no way I could stand next to some of those genetic freaks and try and hold that mass without blowing my waistline or having some serious health issues trying to push and keep up. But what I'm saying is I put so many years of my life to try and get this pro card, to try and push and go to the pro ranks, that if I put an ounce of that energy into anything else, like into making money, I'd be a fucking multi-millionaire. So know your genetic potential and fucking do what you love.
The
But know where you're at.
difference being, Dean, is yours was not an unrealistic goal.
I still think you can do two things. At the beginning part of bodybuilding, you can easily do two things. You can go and get a degree, you can go and get another thing, you can go and learn an instrument, you can there's still loads of other time to do shit. Like, okay, you gotta eat your meals, but sort your fucking life out. Like, you can do other stuff. Do two things. One physical thing and one mental thing.
A million things you could do in it, as long as they're not conflicting. It's not like I'm going to compete in a bodybuilding show and run a marathon at the same time. That's massively conflicting.
Yeah.
But as long as I'm resting, you can do anything, can't you?
Yeah. There's a million different things. But yeah, I mean, all from the post that it went, it's like, by the time you figured out, because most people, like you said, need to actually realize your genetic potential, right? So it's not like that kid, and like you said, Lee Priest looked like he already trained, like straight from the womb. Like, that's really obvious. But like loads of people need to actually, like Dorian needed to train to realize that stimulus worked for him. Like I said, he could absorb, and there's loads of different ways. Most people, by the time you get there, you've already invested so much into it, that it's already too late. You've already done cycles, you've already done things like that. I'm not annoyed about it that I'm coming almost to the end as I'm coming towards 40, because I'm not saying that I did everything perfectly. It was just, from my point of view, I did other stuff. So my life now doesn't stop. If I was to retire or whatever, in 3 years, I've got other stuff that I've worked on alongside. I don't think I could have really done any more. I ate every fucking meal to the gram for 10 years. I competed, I just did mind stuff that wasn't conflicting so that I could do something else.
My point is, everybody today, just anybody and everybody, they go in the gym and it's like, I'm going to compete now. Or actually, they do a cycle of trend for 6 months, and then they decide, I'm going to go to the gym. And then as soon as they walk in the gym, 1 week later, they say, I'm going to compete now. And most of them have got no potential whatsoever, and they're seriously fucking their health up, putting tons of money, time, and effort, because they really do believe they're going to be the next big thing, the next pro, Mr. Olympia, when all they're going to be is a fucking heart attack victim at 40 years old.
And often those people actually always are going to do a show, and don't actually do.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a show. I'm gonna
The genetic thing as well that gets me as the payoff is that you can outwork genetics until someone with genetics works.
Yes.
So you can, the people sometimes with the genetics, they get a bit lazy and you can just creep up on them and stuff. But once the people with the genetics also work as hard as you, you're fucked. It's over.
I beat so many people on stage who was far superior genetically than I was, because they never got the condition. I would fucking kill myself. And there was nothing in my head to even think about cheating on diet or eating any food that wasn't on prep. That's it. Until the day after the show, those foods don't exist. And the amount of people that was so fucking weak-minded that a good example, Tony Bailey always looked incredible, amazing genetics, big popping muscles, great triceps, and I beat him every fucking time. Why? He got better genetics than me. He was too lazy. He's not lazy. He fucking trains his ass off. He's trained hard. But at that level, there's levels, aren't there? He's trained his fucking ass off. He's awesome compared to the average guy in the gym. But when you're going into competition, he was coming down to the temple eating fucking potatoes and beans and cheese all over it, drinking them carb drinks with 100 grams of sugar in it, 2 weeks out from competition. But Tony, what are you doing? He's like, you don't know, it's my genetics. I need it.
Yeah, that's my favorite. I need sugar. It's me that I need the thing that no human ever ate until we made civilization.
And he used to train with a guy, Roger. Roger was hardcore, man. He trained fucking hard. Roger would bust his fucking balls every time. He's like, Tony, look at Dean now. He just fucking squatted 5 plates for 20 fucking reps. That's why he's beating you. That's his training partner. But it was true. He had better genetics. I outworked him, and then that's just one example. There was many other ones.
Yeah.
And if he had, then he would have smashed you.
Yeah, a very good. He had better shapes than me. Got them popping, lovely muscles. He wasn't the biggest guy, but what could he have been if he did everything right? Because his diet was atrocious, off season and on season, to how I believe it should be.
Yeah. I mean, I like literally, if I fucked a meal up on prep, I just would quit. And
one meal.
If I
just kill yourself.
Well, no, I would just not do the prep. Or I'm going to stay up all night to do it. Like, I don't care. Like, it's not happening because, like, you can't necessarily get the placing that you want, but the way that you lose is being able to look back and go, I fucked that up.
Yeah.
Do you know
my
what I mean?
goal was never
because I'm not like winning loads of shit. Like, oh, it didn't matter that I fucked that up. Like, I'm going to have to, but if I don't get the placing, yeah, I won some shit. I didn't win some shit. But every time I look back and I'm like, well, I didn't fuck anything up. So this is just a snapshot, right? So, like, I did what I did. Maybe some of the plan or a peak or whatever, maybe it could have been a bit different. But ultimately, like, I didn't fuck anything up. I didn't eat a McDonald's when I was not supposed to. Like, and it just was, like you said, it didn't exist. There was no option. And it's kind of like the thing that I keep going back to is someone says, oh, the thing is, it's your choice, you know, la la. And I was like, yeah, it was my choice when I made the decision. But now it's like, as if, like, there is no choice.
Well, you make the deal with yourself, don't you?
Yeah, you make the deal, and it's unnegotiable, mate.
It depends on what kind of person you are as well, though. At the end of the day, some people, the commitment or their principles or their morals and how they live their life can all impede on how they stick to their word, and there's no more important word than the one that you've got with your fucking self.
It's all down to your standards you set for yourself, isn't it? You will always live up to your standards that you have for yourself. My standard was never to win. My standard was always to get on stage better than I was last time.
Yeah.
Because I had that standard, there was no way I would get on stage if I was worse than I was fucking last year. Might not even be bigger, but I'll be better. I'll be sure.
If anyone can turn up, this is bodybuilding. You have no fucking idea. No one's guaranteed a win ever in bodybuilding. You don't even know who you're playing against. Like, it's fucking mad. I'm gonna smash everyone. Like, mate, some fucking guy turns up, usually from some Eastern Bloc country. He's fucking, you know, in the breast milk that's Diana Ball. Like, he turns up and he just, you know, it's often the case in these UK, someone no one's fucking heard of with no Instagram just turns up, smashes the fuck. Like, so the only thing you've got is being able to look back and go, well, at least I didn't fuck anything up because I've lost. Like, you know, I just, if I did it and had a week where I fucked something up like that level, because you don't just lose a week, you lose momentum. And for me, I'd have to pack up shop. I'd have to. And I'm not saying, like, sometimes you get a cheat. I don't do cheat meals because I don't fucking like them. But, like, you know, you get a cheat meal. It's not a cheat because it's on the plan. It's not a cheat. I think it's badly, you know, a free. But, like, you do something outside the plan to, for instance, like, you know, gratification. Like, you fucked it. You've lost the momentum. And once you've done it once, it's like smoking crack, you know? It tastes a little bit good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crack's really Moorish.
You probably know the answer to that. Andy, the lad I was prepping this year, he's a good friend of mine. It was only like at the end of the prep, he was like, oh, occasionally, you know, when I was hungry, I was having a teaspoon of peanut butter, you know, just a little bit. I was like, like
fucking peanut butter, it's my pet hate.
And he was like, he couldn't understand why I was so mad at him. I was like, but he said, but we're in shape. I was like, yeah, but like,
it's good for you. It's got good fats in it.
It's plants, they're good fat. Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's not that's the thing, is like, you get a good result from doing it, and it's like, I got away with it. Yeah. And also, that's dangerous as fuck as well. Like, so if I had done first prep and like done well, say I was genetically gifted, and I smashed the show and I'd eaten pizza, fucked around, I'd be like, see, it's fine. I can do that sort of thing.
People have no idea, is it? They jump on that fucking treadmill or that Stairmaster, they're on it for an hour. Do you ever even look how many calories they burn?
It's nothing. It's nothing.
killing yourself and you fucks your whole training up because you've killed yourself for God knows how many days on a fucking Stairmaster. Is for what? Because you want to eat a fucking cookie or half a tub of fucking peanut butter, you fat fuck.
You have, it is horrific when you actually go like, yeah, you know, that hour like that you're doing steady state, it's like literally like 1 Mars bar.
Yeah, but the worst thing is the trade-off for some people is enough. Like, I don't get that.
Fuck that.
It's no mentality, isn't it?
Fuck.
You imagine that though. Imagine living your life like that. Like, well, I want to eat this, so I'm just gonna have to spend the next 2 days doing non-stop cardio.
Yeah. Well, I see that a lot of people need to do cardio, but what I see is in bodybuilding, it's counterproductive, isn't it? Cardio is catabolic at the end of the day. You do too much cardio, you're going to waste away, you're going to get stringy, or you got to eat a lot more food to do the cardio. So why doesn't it just make more sense to fucking drop the calories down and do less cardio? That way, you're not battering your body. Your rest is much better. So you're going to recover faster from your workouts because you're not fucking pounding the Stairmaster every single day. You're going to feel so much better for it. You might be hungry, but that's pure mentality.
Yeah.
Get fucking mentally strong. It's easy.
Hunger is the most natural feeling for an animal. It is. Show me, you know, it's like we've never had it so easy. But that basic thing, people are scared of it. I feel hungry. Yeah, cool. But we're so used to, I feel hungry. Like, you can't live with the feeling. You're like, being hungry is fine. That's fine.
When you're hungry, you're starving. Your brain releases chemicals into your body to make you more sensitive. Your eyesight gets better. You smell. I can taste and smell fucking sugar from half a mile away. I can't stand McDonald's. It makes me want to vomit. But when I'm on prep, I can smell one from fucking 5 miles away.
I've got a story about that, right? I was doing prep. It was a good like 6-7 years ago now, and there was a Greg's factory right by my mother's house at the time. I was like a short. It must have been 10 years ago then, really, because that's since the last time I did a short stint living at home. I walked past the Greg's bakery right on prep. I had such severe stomach cramp when I got home. I had to take the day off work. I was literally keeled over in agony because the smell of the fresh bread just fucking hammered me. It's fucking insane.
But here's the thing about here's the payoff. So on the way to the gym, and I'd walk there to do cardio every morning. We have a Parsons factory. And I walk past it, I'd smell it every fucking day walking through and stuff like that. And I'd be like, as soon as I'm off prep, I'm going to go straight to Parsons, I'm going to eat there. Did I go there? Did I fuck? I never went to Parsons. So it's all bollocks, and it's just get shredded and just shut your fucking mouth. Like, it's all just like the instant gratification. When it's all said and done, you never go to fucking Parsons. It doesn't fucking matter anyway. Like,
the amount of fucking cookbooks that I bought and baking books and shit, and I marked all the pages. I'm going to make this one. I'm going to make this one. I'm drooling over this book. Day after the show, the book's in the fucking bin.
I just want to eat a potato. I just want to eat a potato. But then also, that's why I say, like, in your off season, like, try not to acclimatize yourself to shit.
Well, it's all back down to your microbiome again, isn't it? What you feed, you're going to get used to. It's going to change your taste buds. If you eat shit all the time, you're going to crave shit.
Yeah, that's why I'm not really into cheat meals and that. I think that you're like, and you can bring the focus away from your bodybuilding and from your cardio and from your weight training, pull your whole focus to a weekly cheat meal. I remember like doing it and getting into that cycle of like, I'd pretty much, I'd be all right for a few days, and then, but 2 days was just waiting for this fucking thing that was happening.
So I had a really bad relationship with that for a while. The relationship with food was just fucking insane. I would sit there, Mark Robinson was prepping me at the time, I would sit there and I'd have a tray of donuts on my lap, and he would tell me you can have a cheat meal between 7 and 9 and you can eat whatever you want. And it would be like 6:30. I would be sat on my sofa with this tray of donuts, just waiting for half an hour, looking at them.
Give a stopwatch.
And as soon as it clicked 7 o'clock, I'm not joking, by the time it was 2 minutes past 7, I'd eaten the fucking tray. It was fucking insane. And I think back now, and I would eat and eat and eat, and I'd throw up, and then I'd eat again. And then all the shit that I'd bought, if I'd left anything on the side, the next day, if it was still there, I would be devastated that I didn't eat it.
Because I still have that rule now. If we buy shit, we don't eat it. Then it goes in the bin. I won't have shit in the house.
Yeah, but
Do you think that come from your when you was young and you had you was anorexic and stuff, having eating disorders? Do you think that's passed on through your bodybuilding?
it does, yeah. And I think ultimately for me as well, as a kid, my mother used to work a lot, so anything we ate was convenience food, and then with the whole anorexia thing, what I would do is I wouldn't eat, and then I would just eat a bunch of sugary shit because I was so low in energy and deficient in all the nutrients I needed as a kid. I just needed to pick me up. So I just yeah, and that's just how I managed my energy levels to support the rugby back in those days. I just wouldn't eat anything, and then when I was on my ass, I would just eat a bunch of sugary shit, and that would carry me through like a rugby game or whatever, and then I'd be back to eating nothing. I feel like since you've got married, Dan, that you're less funny. I don't know if we should blame Ellis for that. I don't know if she's like drinking.
To be fair, I need to just the things used to fuck me off more.
You're too happy now, you prick.
I'm like, life's actually all right. Like, I got much less stuff to. I always say I'm never happier than when I'm miserable.
Oh, do me a favor, right? Watch like an old episode of Jeremy Kyle or something before you come on the podcast, and then we can have you like sufficiently riled up.
I do need to find some things that fuck me off. I haven't even been doing it.
What's your biggest pet hates in the industry?
I haven't even been doing it on Instagram. Also, like the pet hates of the industry, I've been a little bit more careful about.
Why?
Like integrating mildly into it to myself.
Yeah, but then that gives you a niche. Don't be one of these cunts.
Yeah.
Have you seen that new page that's been made that's calling everyone?
The make bodybuilding great again.
Fucking mental. When people find out who he is, he's gonna be in all sorts of shit. That guy.
It's got to be. Surely it's got to be the Form Police Part 2.
Oh, it seems like it, doesn't it?
It's got to be. It's got to be the Form Police. Like start off just like destroying everyone. I mean, I find it quite funny. Most of the people that they're doing it to have a thick enough skin to like laugh it off. But fuck me, some of the stuff I've been like, oh my god, yeah. You're like delving. It's got a bit more serious now. Like, do you know that guy? Is his name Goob? And his whole page is just slating everyone that use Photoshop.
Yeah.
So like calling people out now. It's got a bit calling people out, but I don't mind a page here. I was expecting myself to get destroyed on there at some point. I'm up for it. I'm up for it. Fucking like, if you're doing this thing and like get slated for it, you're doing your thing.
You say that some of it is legitimate stuff. And people are losing sponsorships and that from the stuff that he's exposing and that he's exposing.
Well, there was that one coach, wasn't there, who was just taking people's money, just ghosting them.
Yeah, that's and there was the one with the inappropriate messages about it was like a 17-year-old girl he was coaching, and he was sending like photos of how he wanted to see her and stuff. And he was.
Good. I'm fucking glad somebody's pulling them up the cunt.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see anything as like that. I mean, that's just fucking. I mean, we've been around this a few times. It's like you're a professional, mate, and like you have a responsibility the same way that like a fucking. Do you know what I mean? Like any other person, you're a person of power.
Job, isn't it? I remember when I used to do one-on-one PT. I was training this girl. She turns up for legs, and she had these white bottoms on, and it was pretty see-through. And we're doing hamstrings, and she sweated a bit, and I was completely see-through. I said, "What the fuck are you doing?" She's like, "What?" I said, "They're completely see-through. You can't train like that." She said, "I don't care." I said, "Well, I fucking do. Fuck off home and get changed." And I sent her home. Because
yes,
it's just inappropriate, isn't it? It's not.
Well, she'll complain then that people are looking at her.
Well, that as well, yeah. And I don't want that comeback either. Oh yeah, like as soon as you're upset, you're the pervert.
Yeah, you're only annoyed because I soaked my pants, and it wasn't because of you.
Yeah,
you scumbag. All right, but yeah, sorry, I'm not funny anymore. how.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Still, like, there's the odd bit. I'm like, yeah, Dan's still there somewhere underneath. But like, there's
I just if we do if there's more structure like to it, then I can work within like if we're just trying to catch. I do struggle with like going full free form.
I
If we
don't
don't
know.
have
I don't know. Your funniest ever moments have been off the fucking cuff.
yeah, but they're within a framework. They're still they're within a framework.
No, I just think you're being more reserved because you're a coach now, Dan.
I think there probably is a little bit of that, to be fair. But yeah, I'm just like, yeah, I need to sleep. I need to like get annoyed about some shit.
Yes, some of them are fucking funny though, and they want money and shit. But I see what can
Yeah. I mean, we've been lucky so far that like everyone, like we've had Kamal, Derek Lunsford, we've had like even like the newer, like everyone's just said yeah.
Yeah, Neil Hill. Do you know the guy who's like fucking making crazy money off bodybuilding? Did it for free.
Yeah. So money it's not that we don't want to pay them, it's just that we don't have any money.
Yeah.
If there was some money, you could have the money.
It's like a chicken and egg thing, really. Like,
Yeah,
we get the guests. We need to
eat the chicken, and so there's no eggs because we've eaten all the chickens.
If we get some eggs, we can make some chickens.
We can make some eggs, and there'll be new chickens, and we can just eat the. I don't really know where this is going. I love you all. All right, peace out.
Cheers, gents.
Peace out.